Oh god. Nope, up he goes. He can fly! He can fly! But yeah. I say, the little glitch I got with the previous version of this game meant I could not see these ladders. Now I attempted to get up the cliff face just by memorising how far I could go in any direction before I fell off. But it's really, really infuriating to try and do when the camera pans in this close the moment you get on the ladder. You can't really see where you're supposed to be going. I mean, as it stands, I'm sort of guesstimating as I go up here, from a vague memory of what I saw when I was looking at these ladders. Also, I've been doing some more tests with this emulator. It does have an anti-aliasing function, which means I can only put it on very low, but I could set it up so that we'd be playing, you know, Majora's Mask as normal, but the naturally N64 blocky edges would be more rounded and more organic looking. So I'm toying with whether or not to activate that function. I think the end result looks a little bit like, if you've seen the screenshots for the Ocarina of Time remake they did for the 3DS. That's the sort of effect that you sort of get when you do it. Oh, it does cause some quite hilarious bugs if you turn it up too high. Not sure why. I think it interferes with, what's the word for, the hit detection boxes on some of the enemies and whatnot. And some of the forms of Link as well. Cutscene ahoy. The soaring one said the one who could see him be arriving soon. Seems that was true. I am Domani the Third. Ploughed blood whore blah. Why am I even bothering? I know I can't speak today. It's utterly pointless. But alas, now I am dead. I was fine till I marched off to Snowhead by myself, hoping I could drive off the demons that had been wreaking havoc on Goron Village. But then a blizzard pushed me off the edge and I died. Lol. So yeah, he somehow mistakes us for a necromancer. Dude, I can shoot fire from my sword, that's kind of about it really. I've got some funky musical magic, but again, none of it's necromantic. Sorry to break it to you. Right, Song of Healing, in case you haven't guessed yet. In fact, it bolds the word heal in red. Yeah, we got a funky little cutscene where he's all like, whoa, dude, what did you play? So I'm not going to talk too much for this one, because this is a bizarrely touching cutscene. Leaves you with a kind of a deep, well, you'll see for yourselves. So that one always leaves me feeling a little depressed after I watch it. Not quite as much as the Zora one that's coming up, but still. I leave my undying feelings with you. The deeds I accomplished while living are carved on my grave. Link's like, your soul is mine. You got the Goron mask. So yeah, we can now turn into a Goron. Don't worry, we don't look anywhere near as ugly as the mask does. But yeah, now we've got that, we can do a couple of things. We can get to the Snowhead Temple, but first, we're going to require a certain melody in order to pass by the guard. And to get that, we need the Elder's help. Yeah, that is one of the creepier mask animations, I do admit. It's not quite as bad as what happens when you put on the Zora's mask. That is quite horrific. I can remember, actually, there's an article I read in Nintendo Power magazine, was it? Back when this game was first released. They got a screenshot of the Zora transformation. It was labelled, semi-jokingly, as the Marilyn Manson mask. Seriously, it is horrific. You try playing that when you're like 10, 11 years old, it scares the shit out of you watching that animation. At least it did back in the day, as it were. I doubt any of the kids today would be even vaguely fussed by it. My little sister, for example, was watching Alien with me last night, and not even a peep out of her. She didn't care. Like, yeah, so yeah, that's definitely a weird alien thing, isn't it? It's like, come on, it's terrifying. She's like, yeah, of course it is. Felt kind of depressed, really. Bum, bum, bum. Now, if I remember correctly, this was the point during which the audio starts going out of sync, isn't it? I'll have to correct for that during editing if I think about it. Yeah, I was just checking that you don't get anything good from him. You don't. There's absolutely no point in bothering to save him. Well, you know, other than, you know, moralistic good intentions or some such other bullshit. But you get no goodies out of it, so really, don't bother. Also, there's no reason you can't jump in the water, by the way. I remember when I first played this, I was under the assumption if you jumped into the ice-cold water, surely that would cool down your hot spring water. Thankfully it doesn't, so just go right ahead. Don't bother trying to climb back down the ladder or any such bullshit. Again, you will need the bunny hood for this though, as you can see from what I'm doing here. You need to go down here, I believe, somewhere. If Link will stop sliding about like a stupid little Torval and Dean impersonator. Now you need to find the largest of the boulders, which is this one, I think. I'll say Tal will tell you, wow, this is a big boulder, isn't it? If you ask her, but I'm just going to show you. Yeah, we're a Goron with moves. How embarrassing. So yeah, we've freed the Elder. You have to speak to him a couple of times to get him to actually stop and recognise you. If you talk to him as normal Link, he'll just keep brushing past you. You have to speak to him as a Goron. So him and his creepy, quivering lips stare at your majestic man boobs, and you're like, my god, it is you, Damani. I recognise that cleavage anywhere. So we tell him his son wants him back. He's like, no, I must go and defeat the boss, yo. It's like, let's be fair, mate. You can barely stand. You're not going to defeat any bosses. Leave it to the young. So yeah, he attempts to teach us the lullaby that'll put his kid to sleep. Which, quite frank, doesn't seem to have any real point at this point. Unless you've already been to the Snowhead Temple, you know about the Guardian. This seems like an utterly pointless waste of time. Not to mention the fact that he can't actually remember how to play it fully. This does strike me as a slight bit of game padding, really. I think they could have made, you know, putting the kid to sleep something optional you could do. For, you know, for like a bonus mask or something. And just taught you the full version of the lullaby here so you could carry on, but no, more backtracking is required. I think this is one of the few areas of the game that requires backtracking this extensively. Yeah, I'm sure it is. because I don't think you do much backtracking in Great Bay, the Zora section. And although you do technically backtrack in the temple for Stone Canyon, it's not done in the way you'd expect, so it's sort of not backtracking, if you get my meaning. But yeah, this is the one section of the game where you're forced to run back and forth through the same area multiple times. That's not even counting the optional stuff that I'm going to have to do afterwards. I'm going to be utterly and thoroughly sick of this by the end. Anyway, yeah. Take your half-completed intro. You can now... If I can remember how to ground pound, actually. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. What do I... Ah, right, okay. Just A, then B. Okay, that's fine. Or X and square in my case, but whatever. I've lost my train of thought entirely now. Yeah. The curl function on this is very useful for getting about quickly. Very useful indeed. Hey kid. Shut the fuck up. Right, so play the intro lullaby. Let's see. A right forward, A right forward. Awesome. The kid will recognise it. He's like, oh, that song. That's the song Daddy plays before I go to sleep. I'll sing the next part. Sure, I guess. So yeah, play along to learn the full version of the Goron Lullaby, which we can then use against the Snowhead Guardian. We'll get a brief cutscene of us playing the song, and the father playing the song, and the son singing along. So, you know, some touching father-son bullshit. Ba-da-bum. It's all so beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Ba-ba. Aw. Go to sleep, you little moron.